Hey, so today we're talking about New York legalizes recreational marijuana. And man, new real estate opportunities are on the horizon. And lastly, Prince Harry gets a job. Are you ready? Welcome to the Saymichael podcast. Man, what up? What's going down? We are here on the Saymichael podcast, one man's attempt at business, family, and comedy. And you know who I am. I am your host, Michael Aigbedion. And before we continue, you already know we cannot start without introducing super producer Simeon. What's good?
What's good? What's good? What's going down?
How you feeling?
Feel great, bro. Another day.
Man, episode 65.
65.
We're doing great things, bro.
Yes, sir. We know we're doing great things. We've been consistent week in and week out, bro. Couldn't ask for better more, bro. So we're good, bro. I'm blessed, bro.
Man, I could say, just to start out, just got big news, huge news, colossal news.
Big news.
Man, like, look, in ASON, you would call this move Gedegbe. Gigantic, huge.
Pandemonium.
Yes, that New York is now coming to its senses and legalizing recreational marijuana. Like,
It's big, very big.
wow. And look, you have to ask yourself, what does this mean? You have to think about that. What does this mean for all of America? So look, whenever New York legalized gay marriage, everyone started to understand, all right, this is something that is major. Because look, what's the most important city and state in America? What do you say that is?
Most important city?
Yeah, most important city.
If I'm just going off the dome, New York.
New York.
Yeah.
And when New York makes a change, it makes waves. People got to pay attention. And now New York reached a deal with Governor Cuomo, and they're going to now legalize weed when?
April 1st.
April 1st. And they're now going to, so now they're getting all the taxation and everything ready. I don't know what this means to you, but look, Texas is on the horizon next. I think California did medical, but I'm not sure. Is it recreational?
Yeah, I think, it's good out there.
Yeah. So, yeah, it is. Yeah. So,
Yes.
for people who are interested in, start planning. When we talk about dispensaries.
Start planning, because I would say this, bro. Me and Mike, we've been talking about this legalized cannabis off and on for the last, months now.
Yeah.
So for New York to get this done, that means everybody's going to follow suit. And Texas, hey, it could be sooner rather than later, bro.
It's time for innovation in this particular space. And these are these times where you have new opportunities, just like when cars were being built, just like when gold and natural renewables were being sourced. Like when these new things come to horizon, you got to tap in. So prepare yourself, whether it be you having your own cannabis vending machine, whether it be cannabis delivery, whether it be cannabis restaurant, maybe cannabis meal kits.
Yeah, let me cut you off there. I do have a homeboy that I went to high school with. He has his own cannabis dispensary.
Oh, he does? Where? Oklahoma?
I believe it's in, I want to say it's in Oregon.
Okay.
I want to say that. But to your point, though, hey, man, I'm going to say this, though. It's 2020. It's 2021. So that means adapt or get left behind.
Yes. And now even we were talking about before about this year. Let me just say this for you all, that this year is the year of self-care. We had a really hard, really rough 2020. Things that were unexpected, new ways of learning, new ways of adapting and living. So this year, really take care of yourself. Even Stephen asked me before, like, okay, how do you balance out your wants and your needs, right?
Yeah.
And the way you look at it is that you have to put in better habits into your life and take away the things that are just easy. And the way to easy kind of make that decision is looking at it and say, like, is this something I can't live without? You know what I mean? Is this something that needs to be in my life? If so, yes. And you can't really say that about shoes, because basically, if you need a new pair of shoes, what's wrong with your old ones?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And look, I know there's a lot of temptation out there, but this year, take care of yourself, take care of your mentals, think about the love. You know what I mean?
Take care of your chickens, aka your money.
Yeah. Take care of people around you. Give people grace. Just be patient with people. But yeah, so I just want to prepare y'all for all these things that are to come. But even bigger, there's a guy named Spencer Rascoff. Y'all probably heard about this guy. He's, y'all probably haven't heard about this guy, but he's starting to make an impact in real estate. Look, so Spencer Rascoff, first he started Hotwire.com. Y'all knew about that, the deal site for traveling, right?
I remember Hotwire, yeah.
Then he sold Hotwire for $700 million, right? Mm-hmm. Took that bread, and then he started Zillow, which was the $1 billion brand. Mm-hmm. If you look into real estate, or you know anything about real estate, Zillow's like the main one, right? All right. Oh, for finding homes. But then he stepped down from Zillow August of 2020. Now he's actually going into a new venture called Pacasso. And it's crazy because he just started this, Pacasso, Pacasso. And what it's going to do for people in real estate is like crazy, because he's now making a real impact, especially in the real estate world, is that Pacasso is basically going to be a platform for where people could buy their second home. It's not for your primary purchase. It's for your second home. And you're thinking, why would you want a second home? Look, they're saying if you want to have a lake house, or if you want to have a place like in Malibu, or on the beach, or whatever it is, right? Rather than you just saying, man, I can't afford it. I wish I could. I'll wait, right? Mm-hmm. This guy is saying he's going to create a platform where you're going to have the ability to pool your money together and be co-owners of a particular space. It's similar to how you see people do rentals, but in a different way, where if there's $1 million home, rather than me dishing out what's required for that $1 million home as an asset, I could split it 10 ways, 100,000 each, right? Mm-hmm. And pay on that particularly. And then we could rent that house out, either out to others or back to ourselves, and just enjoy our time at the piece of property that you own.
Yeah.
Yeah. And already, he started this, 5 months ago, started talks on this, and he just got a valuation of $1 billion for a fresh new company, a valuation of $1 billion.
That
Quick. Yeah. That's saying it's not even anything yet. You know what I mean? But he's already gotten a seed round of 75 million. And if you do the math, I'm not going to do it here, but if you do the math on what they get for 75 million, whatever it was, what they got was probably such a small percentage that it valued it at $1 billion. Okay. So that's how he got that, Got it. So be on the lookout for Pacasso, because this guy, he seems to be an innovator. And, I'm not going to say that, he's a, goose laying golden eggs, but, he be dropping some nice bombs on people, like Zillow, Hotwire. Come on now. Stop playing. Don't play on that man's name. Spencer,
bro, he's up there, man.
Rascoff, right? And another note, I think you already know. All right. Prince Harry, this guy, he's now just like you and me. He has a job.
Wait a minute. Prince Harry has a job?
Prince Harry has a job.
What is what was he doing before? Was he just living on his family?
Yeah. He was the Prince of Sussex or whatever, right?
Oh, yeah, he was
the Duchess of, so the Duchess, whatever they call it, Sussex. But either way, he now got hired to be an exec at BetterUp, and he's going to be the CIO. You know what the CIO is?
What is the CIO?
The Chief Impact Officer. So he'll be focusing on their brand strategy, right? He'll be focusing on basically how they do their charities and things like that, right? And he says, BetterUp is basically a place that you go for coaches, if you need coaches in things that to help you in your career. So if you need to do better in your career, or if you need to do better as an entrepreneur, or if you just need to be a better person in whatever it is that you're working into, BetterUp is that platform. It's kind of like those mental health platforms where you could talk to a counselor. Well, this one's more for you could talk to a coach, and they can help you get better, which I may need to tap in. But either way, he's now the CIO. He's executive staff, and I just wonder how does he know what a job is?
I don't know, but What I can say to that is, hey man, big ups to him for bringing us some extra income.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be weird because, when he's there and it's like they have to explain to him, like, break it down. Like, he's like, "What's a lunch break?" He's like, you take a little break for lunch. He's like, "I don't know what that is." He's like, "Oh, okay, well, you gotta clock in." He's like, "Hold on, why do you clock in and out?" It's like, that's how you make money. Like, you kind of track, how it's a job. He's like, "I don't understand." He's like, I don't get it. He's like, "Okay, you clock in the morning. Okay, is there an actual physical clock or no? Like, you clock in the morning, and then you basically talk to your coworkers." He's like, "Whoa, slow down. You gotta take him to me slow," because I feel like this is gonna be so new to him. Because look, he's a black sheep.
Yeah.
So him getting the job and like kind of quitting, being like a prince, this is different. Yeah. It's different, but I mean, I hope he makes an impact because, I wonder if you could fire him. You know what I mean? Like,
gonna fire the prince?
I know. I'm saying, you know what I mean?
Gonna fire the prince?
Like, if he's not doing a good job, dude, how are you gonna tell him he's not doing a good job?
Put him on a administrative leave. Let him.
Yeah, well, imagine if he like filed for unemployment. That, like, there's too many things that could end up happening.
Boys getting 50 racks a check or something like that.
I can see him getting the stimulus check. There's too many things that could happen with him.
Get that PP loan, bro.
Yeah, the PPP. Yeah, for real. Yeah. But and especially since you're talking about like loans and all that, there's more news on the horizon about what is it? Robinhood.
Mm-hmm. The IPOs, right?
Yeah. Okay. They actually just started for a private IPO. And if you don't know what IPO is, initial public offering, that means they're ready to go on the stock market. But what they did is a little different. Is that they did what they call a private IPO, where they want to keep everything secret until 15 days before the IPO. So really what they want to do is they want to hide their financials. They don't want people knowing their financials yet. So it might mean that they want to hold it off as long as possible, meaning their financials might not be as strong as people may think it is. Like there might be a lot of issues there. So that's why they want to keep it private. But look out for that because they filed for that, private IPO. That means that probably in the next 3 months, you're going to see an IPO coming from Robinhood, which is going to be big.
It's going to be big. Yeah, I think like I said, the past year, everybody's been in the crypto and the stock market. So for this information to come out, it makes people more prepared in what they got to do, the steps to take, to not have these hiccups in the future.
So if you're looking into like stock opportunities, look out for that. I'm gonna give you another stock opportunity that's coming. There's a company called Too Simple, dumb name, TU Simple, and basically it's a self-driving truck, commercial trucks, and they're being actually their investors are people like Goodyear tires, Volkswagen, right? There's another one called like Navistar, they have a couple of investors and they're about to be on the stock market, but self-driving vehicles is starting to become obviously the next wave. Just like we talk about cannabis, this is going to be the next wave too. I don't know how that's going to go because even, Tesla, you're talking about the whole self, driving taxis where you could buy a Tesla and then while you're in the house sleeping, you could, enact a button and then your Tesla will go out and pick up people while you sleep.
That's cool.
Like a taxi, yeah, robo taxi, like an Uber. So that's what Tesla's doing. Yeah, so every person who buys a Tesla, people are even buying multiple Tesla because they want to put their Tesla on the market to go out and make money, right? Mm-hmm. But see, Tesla has to think through the little kinks, right? Like if you put your car out there, can you imagine when your car comes back, what it's going to smell like? What it's going to look like? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, how are you going to get that vehicle cleaned and maintained between every drive to make sure that the owner is happy with their car?
So I'm pretty sure when they do it, they're going to have a body cam in there?
Well, they'll have a body cam more likely, but on top of that, they're going to have some type of cleaning service to clean their vehicle and take care of things to make sure that everything's all maintained between these drives. They have to think about stuff like that.
You gotta be very detailed about it too.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So look out for the future opportunities that are coming. And look, even bigger, Tesla is taking Bitcoin. Like, you know that Tesla purchased Bitcoin for like $1.5 billion of Bitcoin. And then it made the Bitcoin surge up to like $61,000 per Bitcoin. And then now it's at 56,000. So, you know, it fluctuates. But basically, you know, Tesla's going to be taking Bitcoin. And what you need to look out for in the next coming months is that people said that, well, not people, it's just that what's being rumored is that Bitcoin is going to be like a new currency that other places, now that PayPal's doing it, you're going to see Tesla doing it, you're going to see Microsoft, you're going to see Apple, you can start seeing all these companies. Next you know, everyone's going to be taking Bitcoin. And then now when you have that currency, whether you have a piece of it or the whole part of it, it's going to be an additional way for you to purchase things. And now you'll have a little bit more freedom. But who knows how that's going to go? Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's basically what is going down right now on these streets. But you got to stay safe because, look, shooters are out there.
Yeah. For sure.
I think you already, look, I feel some type of way about that shooting that killed 10 people, including the officer at a grocery store in Boulder, Colorado.
Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong. So basically, he just walked in the store, like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna shoot these people."
Yeah, he walked in with boxers, and then when he was being arrested and walked out, when it got him, he had like blood all down his right leg, like on his right side, and they obviously they got him very peacefully. And look, it makes you wonder, because we were talking earlier about when it comes to race in this country, right? All right, on any type of platform, whether it be a Hispanic platform, a Black platform, Chinese platform, white platform, if there's a lot of bad news that's coming from their people who, look like them and relate to them, they're more likely not going to want to share too much news that's going to make people that look like yourself look bad. So you see it like on Baller Alert, right? Mm-hmm. If Baller Alert or Shade Room or World Star Hip Hop was just reporting all this crime that's happened at the Black community, then people be like, hey, chill. Like, put some good news, put some good stuff what we doing, right? So then you look at the majority of people who are the ownership over all these like news media and all that, right? White people. And they look at the same way, like, I'm not going to just keep putting news out there. It's going to make my people who look like me, people I relate to, and this might be unconsciously, and they want to put that type of news out. So they do things like where they said with the other shooter, the one from last week in Atlanta, when we shot the massage parlors, they said he was having a bad day, that he had a bad day. But see,
so you're saying if I had a bad day, I'm just gonna walk into a massage parlor and just and just air it out?
Yeah. But it's crazy because you could say he had a bad day, but you can't say George Floyd had a bad day.
You can't say
You know what I mean? Like,
they would be like, he's very belligerent.
Yeah,
yada, yada.
He's violent or he's this. Why is it that we could say one person can have a bad day, but all people who commit bad crimes and do things, why can't you say they having a bad day? But there's always particularly unconscious racism. When people were saying, like he's having a bad day. He was having a bad day. That's what you call a bad day? That's not a bad day. You know what I mean? Like that to me is a murderer. You know what I mean? And if you don't label it as such, then people think that it's not as bad and that there's bias in the news. And there is, and the fact that the guy in Boulder, Colorado walked in, bunkered himself in this grocery store, started shooting, going crazy. Man. And it's weird because we're starting to open back up, and it's like certain people couldn't wait.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it took a global pandemic to keep people in the house from shooting public buildings and people. Like, what's going on here, bro?
Isn't that crazy? Like, you have all that happening where we have the global pandemic, people locked down. You don't hear of any type of shootings, no mass shootings. Then people starting to go back to normal, and they're like, "Ooh, okay, finally, I could push my manifesto, whatever it is, and just go in there and start shooting." It's just look. Every person is susceptible to doing bad things, so needs not be a opportunity where we make one seem like it's worse than the other, because we all have equal opportunity in that sense. So it's just, there's a lot of hypocritical stuff going on right now. I just want people to stay safe. And when I heard about the whole Boulder, Colorado thing, I was in Thumb. And I'm telling them, I was like, hey, I need to say, they asked me when I walked into, when I was about to pay, and they're like, how are you doing today? I was like, I'm doing good. I'm doing great. I was like, actually, I'm doing okay. And it's like, oh, why'd you change it up? And I was like, because I just heard about this shooting that just happened at the grocery store. And, now that y'all are here, I just want y'all to be safe. And they're like, what? Oh my God. And I'm showing them, they're like, oh my Lord. Oh man, that person better go to jail. That person better die in hell, doing all this kind of stuff. And I was like, wow, it's just like crazy. That's why I say people look on the horizon. But there's also one last thing I want to share, because I want people to know that the most important thing you could do, whether for yourself and whether for your company or whatever, is change, right? Because that's where growth is. But then when you say positive change, what do you call that? Positive change and growth is what you call innovation. You have to innovate, even for yourself, even what you do at home, whether you innovate and do different things on how you're reading and be more creative, because you have to be creative in those spaces, right? So, this is not huge news, but one of the Dallas native companies, 7-Eleven, is starting to get innovative. They're starting to look at how McDonald's did things, and they're saying we could do better. They're now doing a drive-through taco spot where you could order Slurpees through a drive-through. Ultra convenience. And they're trying these places out in different places in Dallas, different places in Texas. So what I encourage you is that no matter how old you are as a company or how old you are as a person, you can always innovate and try new things. Cool. Anything else you want to share with the people, my guy?
Yes, I do. IRS taxes. So, for people that haven't done their taxes yet, or we all know shit happens. I think they extended the deadline to May 17th. It was supposed to be original for April 15th, but they extended to May 17th. Also, for the people that have businesses in Texas that were affected by the snowstorm, they also extended IRS federal tax filing to June 15th, I believe. June 15th. So, yeah, I just want to put that out there. People that haven't filed taxes or for themselves or for the businesses to get that out there. So, yeah.
Man, that's fire. That's fire. Yeah. Man, okay, that's some great news right there. Look, even worse news, the IRS said, look, we're not going to pay people monthly anymore. Like people were trying to say, all right, if we could pay people $1,400, we should have a monthly income that you give to the lower income people, right?
Let's not get a hold of ourselves. Because think about it. Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
So it's we're getting to the point where we're slowly getting back to normalcy, right? So let's just say if the Congress comes back and tries to be like, hey, we're gonna give you another stimulus, which takes about 4 months. Mm-hmm. So let's say if they want to do it today, by the time you know what I'm saying, you get that stimmy check. It's gonna be the end of the summer, going into fall, and they're probably gonna really be like, wait a minute, the pandemic is slowly, we're slowly, so we don't really need to give you any more money no more. So people gotta temper their expectations of thinking they're gonna get another stimmy. Which I did say on Twitter that I wouldn't be surprised if Biden gives out another stimmy soon. But you have to know, like, these things, like, these bills take time to process. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. So just temper your effort. Like I said, just temper your expectations on that, and just be blessed with what you have right now.
I feel that. Yeah. Like, look, a lot of information on this one. And I want you all to tap in, do better, be better, and we'll see you all next time. And you already know, the next portion is the juicy conversation with me and my wife. I always call it me, myself, and Bly. I love the conversations every single time. Let's get some good chemistry. Let's get some good energy going. We're going to holler at y'all boys later. Boys and girls especially. And see you. Peace. Hey. What's going down?
Hey, what's going down?
Oh, my God. Jesus Christ.
You didn't like that note? What's going down?
You know that meme where they're like, that guy's ripping off his headphones, like, in the airplane?
Yeah. You liked it, though.
It was cool.
What's going down?
I see you, Beyonce.
Okay, well, you know, Queen B. You know what I'm saying? Don't call me Queen B for nothing.
I haven't asked you this in a while. How are you doing?
You only ask me this once a week. No, I'm just kidding. I'm doing good. I was off today from work after having an extremely long day yesterday at work. I did like absolutely nothing today, and it felt great. And I ate a cheeseburger, and some sweet potato fries and a sweet tea.
Man, shout out to Burger Street.
For real.
Burger Street killed it
I
today.
know, and I was feeling a little, little dangerous, a little feisty. I said, you know what, go ahead and throw some jalapenos on there.
And you add jalapenos.
I know, that's not like me. I know.
What's going
I was feeling
on?
myself today.
What's going down?
I said,
What's up?
I'm treating myself.
Why'd you do that?
Well, you know, yesterday was just a horrible day. I don't know. I just wanted, because you told me what your order was. So I said, okay, go ahead. And I ordered that. And something about adding jalapenos. I always say that word wrong, but something about adding that to your burger sounded delicious. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it.
You're the one even who suggested it. You're like, you want jalapenos? I'm like, yes.
Well, I kind of know your orders. Every time we go somewhere, I kind of know what you're already gonna order. So, but yeah, I was trying something a little different.
I like when my burgers are like saucy. I like my burgers and sandwiches very, very saucy.
You do. You like a lot of ketchup and mustard and mayo. You even add extra when you get home.
Yeah, because they don't ever put enough. Yeah, I put everything. Yeah.
Yeah, you do. You be having it all dripping and stuff. I'm like,
I remember when we were younger, we used to go get Whoppers, and I used to say everything on it.
Yeah.
Like everything. Are you sure you want onions, pickles, this, that? But sometimes I don't really want cheese.
Yeah. See, I love the cheese. That's my favorite part. I'd be like, can I get a double slice of cheese, please?
I get out of here.
Yeah, you know I love cheese.
I know, but you asked for a double slice of cheese?
Yes. Love it. I used to love the double quarter pounder from McDonald's.
My brother
and a
got
double
that.
cheeseburger. Yes, because of that extra slice of cheese. Yes.
See, that's where we're different because I get the McDouble.
Yeah, and I get the
Double
double
cheeseburger.
cheeseburger. What's the difference?
McDouble has two
meats.
one cheese.
Double cheeseburger got that double cheese, one meat. See, that's all I need. That's what I'm saying.
Double cheese.
Yeah, it's just one cheese, right? I mean, one meat with two cheeses.
No, two
meats with
two meats, two cheese.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. But as long as it got the extra cheese on it, I'm good.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that too.
And then I had to ask the other day for a Big Mac, add extra Big Mac sauce.
Ew.
Yeah, my mom was.
Oh, you actually ordered a Big Mac?
I didn't. My mom was going to McDonald's to get the boys Happy Meals, and then she was like, "Do you want something?" I was like, "Number one, add extra. I said add extra Big Mac sauce." And she's like, "Okay, what else?" I said, "Large fry."
Oh my God.
Said, oh, okay. I said, and and a barbecue sauce.
Oh my God. What you got to drink?
Sweet tea.
What? Okay, so when y'all went to McDonald's, what did y'all get me?
I don't think that even happened.
I don't think y'all got me anything either.
But you're not at home.
I know, but I wish I was at home so I can eat the stuff that you guys eat when I'm not here.
Yeah, you're like, hey, get me this, and it's cold, and you're like, I don't eat it. You throw it away, or you put it in the fridge.
That is not true. I warm it up, except French fries. I don't warm up French fries. I mean, unless it's like Chick-fil-A fries. I feel like their fries is the only fries you can eat kind of cold, or you can reheat it and it's okay. McDonald's fries, nope. Burger King fries, nope. Or you could do rallies, but you guys call it checkers.
Yeah.
But we don't have that here in Dallas. Not that I know of, but you can warm those up too.
Yeah, you need those like, one of those Cajun type fries. Yeah.
With the seasonings on it.
Not Popeyes though.
No, Popeyes. Yeah, Popeyes have.
I know they have the Cajun fries, but you're saying you could reheat those. You can't reheat those and taste
I
good.
can. I would eat them. Yeah, definitely. Or you can put them in the microwave. I mean, the oven.
I like the. I think it's the Rallies ones where it's almost like, it's like chicken battered almost.
Yeah, that's kind of like Popeyes. It's very similar, but yeah, they have the seasoning on it. That's what I like.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's what I like. So yeah, I treated myself today.
Do you want to talk about your day yesterday?
Ooh, y'all. Yesterday was rough. We started off with a team of, 6 people. And then one person called in, not feeling well. And then 2 people ended up leaving early because they weren't feeling well. So it was down to 3 people, 2 sales associates and a manager. So it was extremely busy, which is a typical Monday for us. We're always busy. And it didn't go well. It didn't go well. And yeah, I had to get some people involved. I mean, I don't want to go into detail.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't want to go into detail because I feel like they might listen. Because I know some of my coworkers do listen to the podcast, and I haven't really talked to them about what happened. But something happened yesterday where I felt like someone wasn't being honest and fair. They were not being fair, and me being the person that I am confronted that person, and they basically just kind of like lied to my face. And I didn't take that very, like, I didn't take that very well.
This is like way too general. They're over here like, so what is going on?
I don't want to go into specifics,
even when I said, you want to talk about it? You're like, oh, look. I'm thinking,
yeah.
You're about to give details?
I mean, I can go into details, but I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, I'm not going to go into details. Maybe next week.
Yeah, I feel like you can go into details after your situation is resolved.
Yes, I agree. So just listen next week. I'm going to have a juicy story to tell y'all. But yeah, something did go down yesterday, and it was just very, unfair, and I didn't appreciate it at all. So, yeah, I took matters in my own hands and, went to the upper room.
That's the only way.
Yeah, that's the only way. So that's why today I was just like, I deserve to like not do anything. And mommy guilt started to kick in like towards the end of the night because I really didn't do anything. I had so much planned, and the only thing I did was like I went and got a facial, and then I did like laundry. So that's one thing, but all the other stuff I was like, I'm not doing nothing. I literally laid around and did pretty much nothing the entire day, and I don't feel guilty about it.
That's what you call an off day.
Yeah, it was really an off day. Like, it's funny because once I left my facial, I'm driving and I'm like on my way home, and I'm like, oh, let me stop to the store real quick. So I turn, and then I'm like, no, you don't need nothing. Then I made another U-turn just to come back home. I was like, just go home. You don't need to buy anything. Just go home. So yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I know. I came straight home.
Looking out for yourself.
Well, I try.
Yeah. So, would you call this day an A+ for you?
Yeah, it was an A+ day. It really was. The only thing. I tried to take a nap today because after I ate all that food, I was like so tired. I was like, I'm gonna go lay down and take a nap. But I'm a light sleeper. I hear everything. So it's like when the door opens, or if the doorbell rings, or my phone rings or vibrates, it's like every little thing kept waking me up. The moments that I felt like I was going into a deep sleep, something woke me up. So I spent like an hour in the bed, just kind of like tossing and turning, and I had to get up eventually. So didn't really take my nap, but you were so sweet enough to say, go ahead, go lay down again. So once I got the boys, got them home, got them fed, you were like, go lay down, go take a nap. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go do that. So I got to rest a little bit more, so it's all good.
I took the boys a bath, so she didn't throw that in there. But I knew she did that strategically.
No, I did not. Yeah, I said you took care of the boys. He gave them a bath, which I greatly appreciate. So
you didn't want them to know how far I go.
Whatever. He gave them a bath.
What's wrong with that? Why are you saying it like that's nothing?
I mean, it's something. You definitely took one thing off of my hand, so I appreciate you.
You're being very specific.
What do you mean?
You took one thing off my hand.
Well, you took something off of my hands because usually I'm the one that gives them baths. So you took that off of my hand. So yeah, I appreciate you for that. I'm not taking that away from you. I'm just saying you helped me out.
I know. I don't need credit.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just making sure the listeners know I don't need credit.
Okay. You sure?
This is all out of just the love of my heart.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, because we split it 50-50 in this house. That's a joke.
I'm about to say, I don't think any relationship splits it 50-50. I'm sure the woman does most of the work. Yeah,
but it always kind of boils down to like y'all have more of the responsibility because y'all bear most of the opportunity. Even like we can't have children, so y'all kind of own the children a little bit more.
This is true. We have our responsibilities a little bit more. Like we have to make sure the kids are fed, make sure that they do their homework and they're bathed and all that good stuff. Where, I feel like the dads, y'all more like the fun parent. I feel like y'all do the fun stuff or y'all discipline the child. It's not like all the everyday things, but I feel like you do a lot of the everyday things that a mother does because, I work late. So when I come home, you already have the boys fed and homework's already done. All I have to do is like give them a bath and get them ready for bed. So that is 50-50. So yeah, we pretty much do it 50-50.
And you're about to work even later now.
Oh my God. Yeah. I think we're about to go back to like normal hours where it's like 10 to 9 and then on Sundays 12 to 6, which is, I am not looking forward to it at all because one mall, which is like 10 minutes away from us, they already changed their hours back to normal before COVID. And I have a feeling we're going to do the exact same thing. So I am not looking forward to it at all.
At all.
At all. Because I like my schedule now. Like we open at 11, we close at 7, which is perfect because, you know, I get to get up and we, you know, work out, have breakfast, and then I can go to work and then still be home where the boys are up and I can help them with their homework or, you know, whatever I want to do with them and with you. And it's not like super late where I'm just like, I'm tired. I just want to take a shower, go to bed. And then the next day I'm like getting ready for work, you know?
Yeah.
So I got used to this schedule of 11 to 7. I really, really like it. But now I think that it's going to go back to like from 10 to 9. And that I just, I hate it.
Looking forward to.
Yeah, because even though we close at 9, it doesn't mean we get to go home at 9. You know, we close at 9. Which means it takes us about 30 to 45 minutes to shut the store down. And then it takes me like 15, 20 minutes to get home. So I'm walking through the door at like 10 o'clock at night every night, you know? So I don't like that part of my job.
You know, that sucks too.
Yeah, big time.
But it's something to get used to, I guess.
Oh yeah, I guess we gotta get used to it all over again.
Yeah, think about it. You got to have a break for almost a year from what you've been going through since you've been there. So
yeah, exactly.
Now you just kind of go back to normal.
Yeah, but I hate it. Especially now that the boys are older, you know, because before it was like, Mama, I don't want you to go to work, you know, all this and that. Now that they're older and I get to come home and they're already knocked out sleep, I already know they're going to bring it to my attention. Like, oh, Mama, I didn't see you yesterday. Where were you? You know? Yeah. So it just sucks.
Yeah. But we'll work through it.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Okay, look, I know you're seeing. Well, I'll show it to you.
What's that?
What's happening with your guy?
My guy.
Derrick Jaxn.
First of all, that is not my guy. I didn't even know who he was or who he is. I had no clue. I didn't know he was that big. When you were telling me about him, I was like, I've never heard of this guy. Yeah. Or seen him or anything like that. So to hear what he's going through is kind of, you know, it sucks for him, but I still don't even know who this person is.
Yeah, I guess the bigger thing is that he's being ultra hypocritical because he's had a 4-year affair on his wife while also criticizing others who were stepping out on their significant other and things like that.
So he was having an affair while he was married. They weren't separated.
No, yeah, they were married.
Oh, wow.
I don't know the actual details like that, but, you know, like actually, I don't care anything about this gentleman.
You and me both.
Everyone was talking about it, but it brought up like interesting topics that we even talked about for a while, which was, I think one of the actual topics that people were talking about is they said that one woman isn't enough to satisfy a high value man.
Yeah, when I heard that, I just was like, I flipped out. I think you and I were like going back and forth talking for like a good like 2 hours about it. Yeah. Yeah, and I was just like, it's crazy because on, you know, you had the Clubhouse on a speaker and we were just like listening to it. And I just couldn't believe the things that men were saying, black men were saying about just marriage and affairs and it being okay and women should just accept it and just like turn a blind eye to it and just be like, well, you know, just don't embarrass me, but you can go ahead and cheat. I don't want you to cheat, but I know that's what you do, so just go ahead and do it. I don't know. It's just like men were just making excuses for it and pretty much just like blaming women and saying like, you guys live in this false reality or this false world that, you know, men should just be faithful. And I'm like, I thought that's what it's supposed to be, right? When you get married, I would think that you're supposed to be faithful. I would hope so.
Yeah, well, here's the issue. This is how... Because you could listen to and hear both sides, but you know how one is more on the wrong side because this is what it is. Men feel that due to our nature and constant search for like reproduction, that should warrant the ability to just sleep with anything, anytime, without any type of consequence, right? But then if you really boil it down is that whether you're a man or a woman, no one wants to get cheated on.
No, heck no. Because at the end of the day, when a woman gets cheated on, she'll take you back. She'll forgive you. She'll just say, don't do it again. But if a man gets cheated on, oh, Lord.
But okay, but they're different.
They are different. You're right. But at the end of the day, no one wants to get cheated on. But from the conversations that I was hearing on Clubhouse, it was as if women should expect to be cheated on. Like, that's just what it is. Relationships just come with that.
But see, it's hard. The hard part is that you just listen to talk.
Yeah.
Right? Because the majority of those people aren't in relationships.
True. 100% true.
And if they were in a relationship, they aren't healthy relationships.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if not all of the people speaking were single and in search.
Yes.
You know, and or heavily divorced or whatever it might have been.
Right.
And they're giving their opinion and say, women, y'all need to just live with it and understand.
Yeah, exactly.
And shut y'all mouth.
Right. When I heard that, I was getting upset. I say, see, I can't deal with this Clubhouse stuff. This stuff be making me upset.
Yeah.
You know, when I heard it, I was just like, are you really telling women that they should just shut up, be quiet, and let their man just go out and cheat? I'm like, what world do y'all live in?
Yeah, because I'll give an example about human nature. Like, it's like saying to a grocery store, because people steal candy bars, you should just let them and take the security cameras down, take the security away, because you know people gonna steal. So why would you stop people if you know they gonna steal? You know they gonna steal. Why stop them? Just live with it and understand people gonna steal.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, who would run a business like that?
Nobody.
Yeah.
What's the point of having, like you said, security cameras and security guards? Like, nobody wants nothing to be stolen from them. Just like nobody wants to be cheated on, you know? And for a man to be like, oh, well, just expect it because that's just what's going to happen. Okay, sir, how would you feel if your wife stepped out on you? Would you appreciate that? Because, yeah, it may be in some guys, you know, nature to step out on their wives, but women sometimes can have that same tendency too. And a lot of women who do step out on their husbands is because of retaliation. You know, like, oh, well, he cheated on me. Well, I'm going to go out and cheat on him, you know, and nobody wants to get cheated on, obviously. So it's just like, how about we just not do that? How about we just treat each other how we would want to be treated?
Easier said than done.
I know it is.
But look. And they also conflate something. You know, they feel, okay, first I have to just state this, that a high value man has nothing to do with income.
Yeah.
People are conflating that a high value man is a person who makes a lot of money. But he could be, you know, dog shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He could be terrible and you could consider that person high value. No. High value is when you use the actual word of values. And by values, you're talking about values, morals, right? Like, what do you value? What do you focus on? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And a man who has high values understands the importance of certain things and does not risk it. Now, you see this with people who have high values in jobs. They're a loyal worker.
Right.
And when they had the opportunity to finagle, steal, cheat, right? They chose not to.
Right.
Because they value the job more than others.
Exactly.
And yet others are saying, bro, it's so easy. You'll never get caught, right?
Right.
But when someone truly values a job and appreciates the job, they go out of the way not to cheat the business because it's going to hurt you as well.
Exactly.
It's about values.
Right. And look, I get it. People make mistakes. We talked about this before. Nobody is perfect, man or woman. People make mistakes. But when you speak as if that's just what men do and women should just shut up and just expect it, I'm just like, are y'all crazy? Like, are y'all really having a clubhouse room full of, I don't know, hundreds of people, and y'all just telling these women that that's just what it is? You know, it just was so crazy to me. So yeah, if you're going to start a family, if you're going to marry a person, like, what morals do you have? What values do you have? Do you really value that relationship and that family that you just built with this person? Because if you don't, then why did you even start the relationship in the first place? Why did you marry that person in the first place if you just gonna go out and just do what you want to do? You could have did that without marrying me.
I think it's the whole, you want your cake and eat it too.
That's exactly what it is.
You know?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And then people living a life, you've seen it, where people are working one job and working their side hustle on the job. You know what I mean?
That's me.
And then when their boss or something like that says, hey, you know, you shouldn't be doing that or whatever, they get upset at them.
Yeah, exactly. That's me. They're like, can you get off your phone? I'm like, I'm trying to text a customer.
Yeah, exactly.
My customer, not the store's customer.
And when that comes into certain, you know, plays in a relationship, it causes issues, right? The person comes in and says, hey, what you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
You're not focused. It's
no,
like,
you're not.
You didn't come here for that. You don't get paid for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of principles that you could look into this whole thing, Because I get it 100%. Like, men wake up in the morning and choose violence. You know what I mean? Like, do you think a man wants to wake up in the morning and be a savage?
No, I don't. But the crazy part is, but you know what's so important? I think conversations are very important before y'all tie that knot. Because if you go into it thinking, oh, this man is not going to cheat on me, or this woman is not going to cheat on me, but that person has the expectation of, you know, I'm going to step out and he just going to have to live with it, or she just going to have to live with it. It's like, no, we got to have that conversation before we even get married, because how do you view relationships? How do you view marriage and family, and, you know, just the vow that you take? How important is that to you? Because I need to know what I'm about to get locked down to for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? So it's so important to communicate. And I know women, we get excited. Oh my God, we just got proposed to, and you got your ring and all that good stuff. But it's like, how well do you really know your partner? You know, it might be all fluff and beautiful in the beginning of the relationship, but then once y'all lock it down, it's like all that stuff go away, you know?
It's so few good guys out there that women are willing to risk it all to even get with someone else's good guy.
Yeah, of course. And that's another thing too. You know, I was telling you that from growing up, I always watched on TV, movies, TV shows, all that good stuff. Whenever a man cheats, the wife blames the other woman, you know, and not only does she blame the other woman for breaking up their family, the wife fights to keep the family together. And I've always been the opposite as far as like my way of thinking. I've always been like, if a man cheats on me, he made the mistake. Why shouldn't he be fighting to keep the family together? Why is it always the other way around? I'm like, women, we just always take so much and we just try to do so much. But it's like, at the end of the day, we didn't make the mistake. Like, let the man fight and put the family back together. And there are relationships where you see, I know you mentioned some celebrities that cheated, you know, and came out and said, you know, they went above and beyond for their wives to try to like make up for it. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, do stuff like that. But I always hear the woman blaming the other woman for breaking up her happy home and then saying, I'm going to fight to keep my family together because I invested so much time in this man. It's like, well, I mean, I don't know if he wants to be fought for. You know what I mean? He's not fighting for his family because he's stepping out, you know? And I get it. Temptation is there and you don't think when it happens. Like I said, mistakes happen. But when the mistake keeps happening, it's like, how many times are you going to disrespect the love of your life? Is that person really the love of your life? Because you wouldn't hurt that person, you know? At least that's what I think. You wouldn't purposely hurt that person.
I was telling Bly how women have the ability to multitask where men don't.
Yes, true.
But men have the ability to compartmentalize and women do not. And that's the difference. When a man, he could have super trash day, terrible day, come home, have the greatest time of his life.
I don't know about that, but okay.
And then a woman, she has a bad day, she's coming home with a bad day.
That's true. That's 100% true.
Yeah, and
I'm yelling at you and the kids. I'm like, y'all all get out my face.
You still got it on you. You still feel the whole day on you.
Yeah,
like,
because I got a vent. Even when I came home last night, I'm just like going in, and you were like, breathe. You was like, Bly, through the nose, you know, out the mouth. Like, you was like, breathe. And because I was just so fired up. And it's true. Yeah, when a woman does have a bad day at work, she brings it home with her. Yeah. You know, so that's true.
The man just walk home like, ooh, I'm going there for home. You know what I'm saying?
Just lay on the sofa in your boxes, eating your little sandwich. You just all good.
Yeah, but see, you know, it does, all this makes you wonder about, you know, like, it's such a complicated dynamic between men and women.
It's true.
You know, it's not simple. It's not as easy as this and that. A lot of the times where you're going to find the success, from my personal experience, is in balance. Yeah. You know, like, you don't know exactly what's the best methods as far as conducting a relationship. Right. But you do know that you're going to have to be balanced. Yeah, that's the whole true. Equally yoked, yin yang type thing. If you're out of balance, there will be a correction. You have to be ready for those corrections, you know, and that's the hard part. I do wonder, you know, because the Derrick Jaxn guy, he's a relationship guru. So he goes out there and he tells women, it's funny, someone put Derrick Jaxn is warning women of himself.
This is true.
Of who he is. True.
But I mean, just think about it. If a man is over here like telling women secrets or cheat codes or whatever about men, women will be attracted to him. So I could see women just throwing themselves at him. I mean, did he even say he was married? Did people even know he was married?
He kept all that hidden.
See, he did it on purpose.
But here's the even bigger part. Okay, so men knew his magic trick.
Well, of course. Yeah, y'all know each other.
Yeah, and I told you that, some people like getting tricked. Like some people like, when you do magic, you know what I mean? And then you're like, what? Oh my God, how'd you do that? And if you're to expose that trick, they'd be like, what? Why'd you ruin the trick for me? Like some people like being tricked. And they got this guy who's doing all this trickery to women. They're like, oh my God, this what he's saying right here is facts. And many live by this. And da-da-da. It's like, and then men are like, he's the same.
I know, right?
He's the same. He's no
just
different.
like me. We all savages.
Yeah, and so he's just going along with his magic. But I wish him the best because he that's his career. I don't know if that's what he does predominantly, but he could apologize for it, and he could try to make it right. But how do you know what I mean? Like if your career is based off of having integrity, and then you do something that lacks integrity,
right?
Your reputation is messed up.
But see, that's the thing. Like, did you not think that through? You know what I mean? If you're married and you're over here telling women, beware of this type of guy when you are that guy and you're out there being that guy, did you not think that these women that you're just having these little random one night stands or whatever, did you not think that they would speak up? I mean, I'm not sure if you're like paying them off, but how long is that going to last? Like somebody going to say something.
Maybe he was bullied in a way. Like, I told you, like some women, it's like bully me with your looks, right? Like they look a certain way that in a way that gets that man's attention, and they use that as some type of like siren call. Yeah, that a man can't he's like, you know what I mean?
But for 4 years he was seduced. That's a long time. That's what I'm saying. Like, yes,
maybe he's a victim.
No, he's not a victim. People make mistakes, but a 4-year mistake, 4 years, like, sir, at this point, you just got to go ahead and just be on your own. That's a long time to be making the same mistake.
He could have said, this is what he could have did. He could have came out and said, you know what? I'm sorry. This is how I want y'all to know. Look, y'all, I'm kind of embarrassed to even say this because y'all not going to believe me. But
I'm a sex addict.
No.
What?
He'll be like, all right, I was actually going out there and actually doing intel and figuring out what men actually do to see if it worked. And this whole 4-year situation isn't actually me going out and cheating. It's actually me doing intel to help other women.
No.
I know it sounds crazy.
Yeah, it does. And you would get called out on it. Like bull crap. Just go ahead and admit that you cheated on your wife for 4 years.
And they'll be like, hold on. So you think that we're going to believe that you did intel? I know it sounds dumb.
It is dumb.
But I'm that dedicated to my career.
Right, please. Yeah, right. No, nobody would fall for that. Nobody.
I think people would.
No,
people would be like,
so.
You know what? He might be telling the truth. That's what he will say.
There's no way. So you're out here sleeping with women for like an experiment?
Yeah, like you're trying to figure out, okay, let's see if this works. Let's see why men cheat. Let's see why men do this, why men step out. And what better way to figure that out unless I see for myself?
Yeah, you can do all that, but then stop when it's about to get sexual. You know what I mean? Like go all the way and then be like, cut it off right when it's about to get sexual. I think that's when it's okay to stop it. But when you go all the way, it's like, sir, come on.
So you think it's okay for a man to do intel?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, indeed. I think that's just all cuckoo.
Yeah, they used to do that in the past with when people wrote books. Mm-hmm. This is before there were actually like rules and stuff like that. Yeah. One guy did this huge investigation. He wanted to see what would happen with like gay people. Mm-hmm. So he actually went. And he was a police officer. Yeah,
okay.
I told you about this, right? Mm-hmm. And he would go in to like those bus stops and rest stops, and he would like get oral sex from like the men in the bathrooms. Then he'll go to the airports and do the whole tap into someone else's stall. Yeah, understand that, and then he will follow those men home, figure out that they're married, and then he will in essence blackmail the husband.
Wow.
And say, okay, now that we understand that I saw you and I was with you, or I was there when this happened, you're going to have to give me a full interview on why you do these things and how.
That's blackmail.
Yeah, no, it's illegal.
Yeah.
A lot of this was in the 70s.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's like super illegal what he
Yeah.
did, but there was no rule against that. He was going deep investigation.
But if you're going to do that type of deep investigation, like, sir, you might have to go deep within yourself because something don't seem right about you. You know, maybe you are homosexual and you're just trying to play it off as if you're doing an investigation. When you really just like doing it for fun. You know, like, let's just be honest.
Somebody went to the bus stop.
Yeah, you know what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was doing it for fun. He couldn't wait.
He said that there's men who go to the bus stop and be in the stalls giving out free fellatio 50 guys.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
I just cannot.
And that's what exposed the whole bus stops, airports, these secret areas, or whatever. And even crazy enough, they talked about how, you know, police officers who would, you know, or even groups of men, the reason that they would get AIDS is because they'll be at a party, and then, you know, they're supposed to be completely heterosexual, and then what ends up happening is that there's a back room where the guys end up getting drunk. They go to this back room, and then they end up accidentally, you know, having some type of intercourse.
Whatever happens, basically.
Yeah, but see, the reason they got AIDS is because they wouldn't use protection, because if they brought protection, it meant that they came there for that.
Had the intention.
Yeah, the intention.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy how I told you, the mind is so complicated.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
The things people tell themselves in order to like move through life. You see what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
Crazy.
Ooh, Lord.
Yeah, I know.
Some heavy stuff there.
There's a lot of stuff actually going on in general. Like, you know, I'm gonna talk about this in the other portion of this pod, but you know, like the shooting.
I know. I saw that. 10 people died. It was a grocery store.
Yeah,
in
and
Colorado.
then last week,
Yes.
8 people got shot
In a
up.
nail shop.
Yeah.
I can't. It's too much going on right now.
They said America's back to business as usual.
I'm sure.
Like, it's just shocking because like the economy or the public is just getting back to normal. And then boom, they couldn't wait.
They could not wait to do a mass shooting.
Like
they just couldn't wait to get that out of their system. Like maybe they just was holding it in for so long because they just been quarantined, and now they're like, okay, now I'm finally out. Let me get this out my system or whatever. They must have been plotting it, but I just don't understand, and I would never understand why somebody would just murder a bunch of people for no reason.
Oh, there's reasons.
I mean, there's reasons, but when you kill innocent people, I don't understand the reasoning of that. Just kill yourself.
It's suicide. Think about it. Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna go out, you're gonna be like, all right, I'm going out guns blazing, right?
Yeah.
You know, some people have, I don't know what their motives are. Sometimes they write these manifestos and all this. It's just shocking because you don't even know how to feel about this entire thing, because we're still in the midst of a pandemic.
Yep.
Life is not normal. And yet you have somebody who created something or did something that's so egregious that we used to see. We didn't see it the entire lockdown.
No, we didn't.
Not even one like mass shooting, not even a little bit.
Not that I
and
can
this
think
is,
of, no.
we used to have mass shootings literally on a week-to-week basis.
Yeah.
It has to at least be 10 people before it even hits the news, because it's just happening everywhere.
Yeah.
6 people died or 4 people died. It's like, you know, and people don't care. But then when you're
Right.
like 17, you're like, dang, 17?
That's crazy.
This will happen like almost every month where there's like
It's
a large
like a
number.
club or you know, the
Something.
movie theater, something crazy.
Yeah, and then for the entire pandemic, when people are on lockdown, you don't have one.
Yeah.
That's very telling. Then people are now going back to normal shopping.
It's crazy. It makes me nervous, you know.
What do you think about the whole Stop Asian Hate situation going
But that's
on?
crazy too. You know, that all that craziness is going on, and why did that even start? Is it because of Trump and his foolishness of calling the COVID the Chinese disease?
Yeah, the Kung Flu. That's
yeah,
actually
the
a good
Kung
name.
Flu. Oh my God, you crazy. So now they're just attacking Asian people for no reason.
Yeah, random attacks. And then I think there's some type of, I can't really tell yet. I think they're trying to create some type of narrative that is Black versus Asian.
Black versus Asian?
Yeah.
What, because of the Black Lives Matter thing?
I'm not sure if it's Black Lives Matter, but I think that it could be Black Lives Matter where, you know, black people had their time, and then now Asian people have their time. Okay. And you're saying who has the actual more legitimate struggle in this country?
What? They trying to compare?
There's a lot of comparison. There's a it's kind of like, you know, again, you see this on Clubhouse, where you see people create rooms on, you know, like, oh, now Asians want Black people to pull up, huh? You know what I mean?
Oh no, not the pull up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know, and it's weird because when people are at a time of need and are grieving and are scared, and then you say, oh, I told you, or now you want to, you throw that energy back at people. That's whack.
That's super whack. Like, we should be empathetic. We
Always.
should be, damn, I feel for you. I understand what you're going through. I could be there for you. Just because they're not there for us doesn't mean that, we shouldn't be there for them, know? It's just crazy to me. This world is just so...
It's just wild.
It's crazy.
And then when you think, it's not even that they particularly aren't there for, Black people, right? It's just that this is a moment for someone to say, ha, 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 it's your turn.
That's horrible.
And I think that's just not, like, it's like I said, if you have nothing positive to say, don't say nothing. It's that,
Exactly.
Because, it might be an actual truth, right? That you might not feel supported, or, they might not speak up on Black issues.
Yeah.
But when something happens to them, it's not the moment to be like, see, told you so.
Right, exactly.
Should have looked out for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not that type of energy.
Yeah, and I feel like Asians, they just kind of stick to themselves. Like, I honestly don't feel like they really pay attention to, like, what's happening within other cultures or other races. They just kind of stick to themselves. And maybe they're just like, okay, now we're being attacked. Can we just get some support? So I don't see anything wrong with that. I really don't. But, people always got to make an argument. They always got to make something out of nothing. To me, that's how I see it.
Yeah, I know. It's almost like they put out a narrative out there that no one's actually saying. Yeah. It might be something they think personally. Yeah. And then they run with all these theories around it, know? But the whole Stop Asian Hate, it does feel a little bit like weird seeing all this kind of stuff happening again amidst the pandemic, where people are just being affected emotionally and just trying to get back to normal. Yeah, exactly. And then you said, oh man, like, if you're not Asian, then you're not going to look at it that seriously. Just like if you're not Black, you're not going to look at it that seriously. Right. You only look out for what you most relate to. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's like most people out there are exhausted. Yeah. Heck yeah. Exhausted. And you're saying, hey, come holler at me. Come help me. Like, I'm exhausted. I can't even help myself. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's actually a true statement. Like, I can't even help myself. And you want me to help? Exactly. Like, I'm over here bloodied. On my knees, and you want me to help you up? Yeah, I can't even help myself up. Man. That's how it be. It be like that though. But we gotta pray for everyone out there for sure. Because we just gotta do better. Yeah, we do. We definitely have to do better. And speaking of exhausted, we went to New Orleans last weekend or last week. Yeah. We left Tuesday night and then we came back Thursday morning. So we were there really short visit. But that was like an exhausting trip too. More for me, more like a mental exhausting trip, because we went for a funeral. My uncle, my mom's older brother, passed away. And it's just like, it reminds you that, you see everybody wearing like the mask in church, and then, at the gravesite or graveyard, everybody's wearing masks. It just reminds you like, dang, like things are not back to normal. Like, it's still very weird. You can hug, but people are like, should I hug? Should I not hug? But because we haven't seen each other in so long, they're like, okay, I'm gonna hug you, but it's just so exhausting. I'm just like, I can't wait for all this to like be over with. I know, it really needs to be over. Yeah, but it's not. I predicted summer. I don't think so. With Texas being open 100%, people really do not want to wear their mask. And they think that the disease is not here. Like, they think that because the governor told us we don't have to wear a mask, COVID is just like, it went away. I'm like, no, COVID is still here, people. And the ones who don't want to wear a mask, they're not getting the vaccine. They just don't want to wear the mask. And I'm like, y'all can still get sick. So I don't know. I just feel like it's just going to keep
making the issue worse. I don't think it's going to get better. I think it's going to get worse with people not wearing a mask.
I know they said that some of the infection rates are going down due to everyone getting the vaccine.
Oh, that's good.
But even people are traveling even more now.
That's true. Everybody in Tulum.
Yeah, see, I told you we're inching slowly but surely back.
Yeah.
And if everyone's able to like get on the vaccine, because I used to be not so sure about the vaccine.
I'm back to being not so sure.
Why? Because of the whole.
Yeah, I had a conversation with my esthetician today.
Oh, you think about okay.
Yeah, she mentioned that it could make you sterile, and we're thinking about having another baby. So I would hate for that to happen to me because she's older. She was like, I don't care if it makes me sterile. I'm not having another baby anyway. And I'm like, but I want to. Like, I plan on having another one. So she's like, well, just make sure you do your research. And I'm like, I would hate to get the vaccine and then months later, oh, there's a new symptom.
Don't.
And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why it makes me a little bit nervous because at first I was like, babe, we need to get the vaccine before we travel because we're traveling next month. And then once I had that conversation with her this morning, it made me think about it. I was just like, I don't know if I want to get the vaccine, at least not before, we start trying or, I don't know. I'm back to not being so sure about it. So,
but I learned a lot about the vaccine this past weekend, and it's not as unsafe as people are saying.
Well, some people are getting really bad symptoms and some people aren't getting any. I think it just depends on what brand it is. Mm-hmm. So she said she got the Johnson & Johnson, her mom and her husband, and none of them had zero symptoms. But then there's other brands where people are getting like flu-like symptoms. So I don't know. I think she just was like, just do your research. Whichever one you pick, just make sure you do your research and see if there are like symptoms and what people are getting like the, effects from it.
I'm gonna holler at the FDA, see if I can get me some like.
Not the FDA.
See if I can create me some vaccine gummies.
Not gummies. Oh my God. You are crazy.
Vaccine gummies? I know you take vaccine gummies.
Well, I love gummies, so. Well, I love gummy bears, not like gummies. They probably over here thinking, oh, she like gummies. No, definitely. I don't like gummies.
You don't like gummies?
No.
Why? What's wrong with gummies? Hold on. What is wrong with gummies?
You know what happened. You know what happened to me.
I have no clue.
When we were in Vegas.
No, not gummies.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the listeners might think that, oh, she likes gummies. I'm like, no, I don't like those gummies. I like gummy bears.
Gummy bears.
The candy. The candy.
That's funny. Yeah, because what I learned about it was the way that they came up with it. Why it was done so fast. Mm-hmm. Okay, my favorite apple, which is the Cosmic Crisp, right?
This is true.
It was made with a particular technology called CRISPR. Yeah, right. And it's a very innovative technology where you're able to, in essence, change DNA or change genes. Yeah. And in essence, not even have to have the actual, when they actually have to do a vaccine in the past. The first vaccine that actually came out was for polio. Yeah. Here's another fact. The first time they understood that viruses existed was during the Spanish flu. They knew that people were getting sick and stuff like that, but they didn't know exactly how it passed. Yeah. And that's when they discovered viruses. Like, oh, dude, from the Spanish flu 100 years ago. So you would have to take a little bit of the weakened, disease or the virus, and you'll put it into your system, and your body will create antibodies to protect your body against it, right? Yes. Okay, with the COVID-19, they didn't even need COVID at all. They already figured out what it was that fought against COVID, so they, in essence, are able to create what they call RNA, because RNA is the one that does all the work. I know it's pretty complicated, but it's pretty important.
I'm staying on track.
Okay, DNA, right? That's your library, your archive. Yes. Right? RNA is the one that takes little sentences and pieces from the archive and it moves it around to protect it and build structures. Yeah. So when you tell your body, all right, this is what's happening, this is the RNA, this is the messenger RNA that's going to kind of protect, you're in essence telling your body to say, hey, you're going to, bad weather's coming. We need to build up some storm shelters.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let's gear up.
Yeah, it's weatherized.
Ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah. So you don't need to actually experience the weather. Right. Before you protect yourself, you could already put the building blocks of what needs to be protected for you, which you already know is coming.
Which is kind of like the flu shot.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You take the flu shot, not because you have the flu, but because just in case.
But the difference between the flu shot is that they actually take a little piece of the actual flu.
Oh, that's true. Because they change it like every year,
yeah,
right?
and then you get the flu.
Yeah.
Some people actually get the whole flu. Some people get a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But it's better having that type of flu, that weekend flu, than a full-blown flu.
Right. Makes sense.
And this new one with CRISPR, they're able to create, in essence, a way to protect your body without actually having the virus in your body to begin with. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's a lot safer, in my opinion, because if you learn about how, like, if it did restructure your DNA or restructure your genes, that will be different.
Yeah.
You know, but if you do and read the science about how it was created, I feel that it's much safer.
Yeah.
You know, than what was there in the past. And look, if you're talking about, I want to take the vaccine and all that, but then you go to McDonald's or Burger King, you know what I'm saying? That's medicine too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
Whether you smoke weed or you do drugs or you eat fast food,
Drink alcohol,
eat vegetables, eat apples.
If it ain't organic.
But you see what I'm saying? Anything you put in your body, you don't really know where it came from.
That's true. Yeah.
And it's still going through your entire body, nourishing your body. And it could be good, it could be bad.
Yeah.
But don't tell me, oh, I don't trust it. Because if you don't trust that, then what do you trust? Because you don't know half the things that you're eating.
Unless you have your own farm.
Ding, 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 ding. We need that. We need
your own
that.
little garden back there, little veggie garden, little fruit garden, little chickens.
Yeah, we actually need that though.
No. I mean, not at this house, but yeah.
Yeah, not at this house. Yeah.
Definitely not.
Yeah, I want, man, when I see people working on gardens, it kind of makes me a little jelly. But here's the thing. Most people working on gardens never really show the final product because it's not looking so good.
Yeah, they're a little small. You know, you growing a little cabbage head, that thing will be a little small.
It takes years before you're good at
it. Does.
Yeah, and then people just cross pollination. So sometimes you try to grow this and it'll come out as this, and you're like,
that's true. That's very true. But I think it's super cute though. I know growing up, my mom, we had a plantain tree and we also had a fig tree. And so that was super cool.
Did y'all eat the figs?
Yeah, we ate the figs every year.
Did y'all eat it, like pluck it and then eat it like that?
Yeah, we wash it off and we ate the figs just straight off the tree.
How about with the plantain? How was that?
Plantain, yeah, you'll cut it once it gets a little yellow, and then we would fry it, pan sear it, I guess, and then sprinkle some sugar on it. Ooh,
you better stop right now.
I'm telling you, we had it in our backyard. Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a really good word for you.
What's that?
It's pretty juicy.
I like juicy words.
Prescient.
Okay.
Prescient, right, is a word for something that was done ahead of its time. Let me give you an example.
Yes.
Okay. Remember that there's a CNN or that one interview that the guy was having in his house, and then like the kids,
little baby ran in,
bust in and all that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that happened 4 years before the pandemic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought that happened during the pandemic.
Exactly. That's what that's a prescient moment.
Oh,
that's prescient.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So when something happened, you don't know it until, go into the future and you say, oh, that was a prescient moment that reminded us of something right now.
That's crazy. Wow. I don't know why I thought that happened like recently.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So when something's like a little bit ahead of its time, it's prescient.
I like that.
That's a really good word, right?
It is. But that video was so funny. That baby came in, and then I'm assuming that was probably like the nanny or something. She bust through that door. She crawled on the floor. She grabbed that baby. She was like, "Come on, get out of here, Daddy working."
He was like, "Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me." And then this kid came and he pushed his hand, and it's like he was just like, "This is the worst ever." I bet she got
like
fired.
A 6-month-old baby, and he was just like wiggling in his little walker. That was so funny. And the way she ran through that door, she bust through.
Yeah.
She happened, crawled on the floor and grabbed them. I was just like, oh my God, this is hilarious.
And he goes like, "Excuse me, I'm sorry. Excuse me, so I'm sorry." He's like, "Excuse me." And
how do you even concentrate after that? Like, how do you just go back to work? I'd be like, cut. That's just fire me. I'll look for somewhere else to work. No, that's which is even worse. It's like, how do you, come back to like, all right, let me go back to work,
Yeah, let me give you a twofer. It's another word. Okay, so your first word, y'all got to know and use it, prescient. That's a great word. Next one, anachronistic.
Oh, God.
Anachronistic. anachronistic.
Anachronistic.
Yeah, which comes from the word anachronism.
Okay.
Anachronistic is a perfect word that me and you've been trying to figure out for a long time.
Okay, what does this mean?
What's the movie that we saw, or that show that we saw that's similar to Stranger Things?
Why can't I think of it? It's I can't think of it.
It's a day like, what is it?
No, it's I'm not okay with this.
Yeah, I am not okay with this, right?
I can't think of it.
Okay. If you watch the movie, I am not okay with this. What is it in the movie that stuck out to us that just seemed weird?
The iPhone. It seemed like it was filmed in like the 80s, but she had all this like new stuff. It was very nostalgic, like what she wore and how it was filmed and where they lived. It seemed very 80s, but she had like an iPhone.
I love that you just said that because that is what you call anachronistic.
Really? Okay,
something that is done outside of its historical time.
That makes sense.
So when something is done, that's, let's say they bring in old fashioned and bring it new. Just like when you saw, what's your favorite art? Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
That's anachronistic.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Like it looks like it's in the wrong time.
Yes.
Or when you have they had a cell phone, curly hair, old school cars, but they had an iPhone.
It was so
the
weird.
iPhone is anachronistic because it doesn't go with the time. Same thing that you could use in the same way of, is it Meghan Markle?
Yeah.
And Prince Harry? Okay, when you talk about having a British family and saying that, however you want to look at it, it's kind of racist to say that, you're royalty by blood, right? Just by your blood, and that you deserve to rule over all these people, right? So basically, having that be the way that people conduct and govern now is what's looked at as anachronistic. Like, it doesn't really seem, it seems like it's in the wrong time.
Yeah.
Like, it should be back then, not now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how you look at it. Is like, that's not for this time. That's something's off about that, and that's anachronistic.
Wow. And that movie was 100% that. Because we were watching it was like, man, this is so great. And then she pulled out an iPhone. It was like,
it just threw you off.
We were like, when was this filmed? Like, I'm so like confused. Is this an old show or is this a new show? Because they dressed like they're straight from the 80s. Everything, literally, the appliances in the kitchen. 80s.
Yeah,
and then
cars,
she had an iPhone.
houses, 80s.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on?
And then she had a straight up iPhone. I was like, I'm so confused.
Hairstyles. It's
everything. I think even the music they were playing, everything was like
everything.
80s. I was so confused.
The prom.
Yeah.
80s clothes. I'm like,
Everything.
what is this? And they had an iPhone.
They had an iPhone. That was so, but I think they purposely did that. Maybe that was like a clue or something that we just like figured out for like season 2.
Yeah, well, I always thought about stuff like if you created a movie called like Distraction, right? And this guy talking, there's a little something like right there on his lip, right?
Watching it the whole time.
Yeah, you can't even watch the movie because you're like, do you see that on his lip? Is that supposed to be there?
Yeah, that's why it's called Distraction.
But you see, how if it was made to look like it wasn't supposed to be there, but they just left it on accident and they overlooked it?
That's no way. There's no way.
That would create so much anxiety for people. You're like, I know you see that, right? He needs to, or he might have like something hanging in his beard. And he's
some leftover food.
Yeah,
in his
he's
beard.
like, and he's arguing with somebody. You don't talk to me like that. He's
and
like,
it's all shaking.
Yeah, he like,
so wiggling.
You said it in his beard. Is that a reflection? People will restart the movie. They're like,
that's me. I would do that too.
Is that something in the movie? Like, you can't tell. Is that like a flash?
That's me. The whole entire movie, I'll be bringing it up, and you just be ignoring me.
Yeah.
Like, just chill, Bly. Watch the movie. I'm like, but what is that? Like, I'm just so distracted.
Man,
by
Bly,
that.
when we watch a movie, I'm trying to say, look, I'll be like, hey, Bly, look at this. It'd be a 30-second clip. I'm like, look at this. She's like, and she's looking at us like, how did that happen? Da-da-da. I was like, listen. He's like, but I don't really get.
I be talking the whole entire clip.
I could do both. I'll say, how are you gonna listen and watch?
How you
gonna listen and talk?
I be having questions. I can't watch the whole thing and then ask questions. I have to ask questions as things happen. Otherwise, I forget. I'm like, what is this that I'm watching that you're showing me? And why is she doing this? You're like, Bly, just watch it. I'm like, okay, but I just don't get it.
Oh my God. Anything you want to share with the people?
Check out our t-shirts.
Oh yeah.
We went to Jam Nola.
What is it called?
Nola. In New Orleans. We went to like a pop-up shop that was super duper cool. We had so much
I loved
fun.
it. Man, I loved that.
It was like the icing on the cake, especially for that visit, because we did go for a funeral. And the fact that my mom was like, hey, there's a pop-up shop I want to take you guys to. And they booked everything. We got there. We were like running super duper late, but we got there right on time. And yeah, it was so
It inspired you, right?
It did. It made me want to like kind of tap in more into like my culture and kind of learn like who I am and where I come from as far as like, you know, my city, my state, and music and food, and why we are, you know, the way we are.
So original. Like you just saw.
Yeah.
You saw like your history, like right there. They're playing all those like
the second line,
and you're like, and that was like in the '60s, and you're
Yeah.
like, wow, like we still do that now. That's why New Orleans is so original.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're about to buy a shirt, and then Bly was like, "You want to buy that shirt?" I was like, "It's all about New Orleans."
Of course, you know it's all about New Orleans.
And I was like, if I wear that shirt, people gonna think I'm from New Orleans.
Nah, your accent. You ain't got no New Orleans accent, baby.
Oh my god. Well,
Yeah.
look, such a good one. I really appreciate you all for joining us on this episode. As you know, we'll see you later, and we love you to death. Peace out.
Peace.
And remember, if someone asks you to be the bigger man, you look at them and say, I am the bigger man. Peace out.